Hello everyone, welcome back. So today in this video we are going to do column fracturing, and here in this one we will take bullet solver. Okay, so let's get started. The shot will be very simple as it was last time, but I will try to maybe add some more options to it. So take tab and take a geo, get inside it, and I'll take a box for that. I want this column to be always on the grid like here. So I will go to y axis of the size and click on the copy parameter, and then I'll in the center of y will be paste relative difference, uh, paste relative reference divided by 2. Okay, so in that manner that will be always on the ground. And I also want the height of this to be 6. Okay, so that is 6 meters, and I want the size of x to be equal to size of z. So what I will do, I will click x-axis of size and copy parameter, and then press click here in the paste relative reference and enter, and I will change it to 0.8. Okay, so this will be, so here I'll have to change only x, not z, because I'm lazy. Okay, so now this is our column, and that's it for this one. So what I will do, I will take a null and then rename it to out capital. I like capital letters. Out column. Out column. That's it. So that's the column, and then that's the column, and then we will take either a sphere or a box which will hit this column. Okay, because that is shattering of the column. So I will take a geo node, go inside it, take a box, and then okay, I will transform this box to be at 3 of the y-axis. So in that manner this will be in the middle of that, and then I will also translate it to -5 of z-axis. Okay, this will come from here and hit the column. Okay, so I will also animate this. So I'll go at first frame. Okay, come here, press alt and left click at translate. Okay, so then the key will be there at first frame, and now I will go to 10th frame and change the slider to be at 10th frame, and then here I will make the value of z to be 2. Okay, and then press alt and left click here in the translate. Okay, so the animation is like that, and that will be enough for whatever we are doing today. I will keep the whole range to be 60 to 40 is a really very large range. So I will go and click here at the global animation options and change the end value to be 60 frames and apply, and then cross it. Okay, so I have this right now. I'll add one null and rename it to be outbox. Okay, cool. So go back and rename it to be box. Sorry, box. Okay, so now we have these two objects, and both the objects will be dynamic rigid body. Okay, so now the box is there and column is there, and now I want to get into one more thing. Okay, let's first go ahead with the simulation part. So for simulation I'll be using DOP network. Okay, go inside it, and then this is our simulation world. So here I will call both the rigid bodies, and I am not going to create grid as the ground. Today I will take inbuilt ground of Houdini. Okay, so I'll go and last time when we were fetching the rigid bodies, we were using RBD object. Okay, we use this, but today we can't use it because now today I'm going to work on a different concept of getting the bodies into dynamics, and that is called packed primitive. uh, so what I have to do, first of all, I have to convert these two objects into packed primitive. Packed primitive is a concept in is a way of working in Houdini for the bigger simulations, for bigger shots, and in this way, what Houdini does, it takes the body and puts the whole information into a single point or a primitive. So in that manner, maybe a lot of simulation time and a lot of space, lot of memory is saved, and that's cool. That is really cool. Okay, that means you can create bigger and bigger shots. Nowadays you can movies and you can see, the whole city are destroying, and in these kind of shots, packed primitive geometry is definitely uh, a big thing. So let's go into box, and to change that thing, these are small shots, but I really want to introduce this concept here. So so what I will do right now, if I see the geometry, okay, I'll come here and click middle mouse button, and then we can see 8 points are there. So now I want to change that into packed primitive, and what I will do for that, I will take node assemble node. Okay, this is the best node. Maybe this I always use this node to change the geometry into packed primitive. There are so many ways in Houdini. So I will go to this one, and maybe it can do more than that, but packed primitive is there. So create packed geometry. So if I go here, then we can see 8 points, and still here 8 points, and then when we click on create packed primitive, okay, then this will be reduced to 1 point and one primitive. So in that manner, we can save a lot of memory and a lot of simulation time. Okay, so that is there. So we will do one more thing. When you change that object to back the primitive, okay, the edges will look weird, and this will give you some shadowy kind of thing. So to get rid of that, it has also, this assemble has one option that is called cusp edges. So when all the edges of the object are cusped, then this will look the same as it was before. Okay, so fine. So now I will go and do the same thing with a column. So I will come here and then take assemble. Okay, and click here, and that's fine. So now I will go to top, and to fetch that packed geometry, we will take RBD packed RBD packed object. Okay, so now for packed geometry, we'll be using this node. And today we'll be using bullet solver, not RBD. In the last video I used RBD solver, but now today we'll be using bullet. So bullet solver. Okay, bullet solver, and now connect the input and connect with the output, and then, so because these both are rigid bodies are packed primitive, so I will take and copy it and paste it, and then I will take a merge node, and then I will take both of them there, and then I will take, here I will take box first, and then here the column, out column. Okay, press L, and then we have this. Okay, so I will come out, and then now I don't need these display flags here because I have fetched all the data into .NET. Okay, so now if you play, nothing is happening. Why nothing is happening? Because I already told you in the last video that these are active rigid bodies, and if really if I want them to work, then I'll have to apply some internal or external force. So what I will do, I will take a gravity for that and then apply it here, and then take it down and then play it, and then bingo, it's going down. Okay, so now what I will do, I will take a ground. I will take a ground plane here, and then I'll take a merge node. Okay, merge node, right? Press L. Okay, so now we have a proper structure ready for that, and then play it. Okay, so because this box is an animated object, and I also want it to, get the animation along with that maybe active rigid body part. So what I will do, I will go to RBD packed object option, and then I will change initial object type to maybe from create active FTIC away, because if I keep it create active object, what will happen, it will just take the initial velocity but not the animation I have applied on that it was, though it was not necessary to create animation, maybe I could have just given the initial velocity here only, but I really wanted to add some more options in today's video, and that is why I give some animation, and thereafter I wanted to use it as an active rigid body. So how we can do that, we have just to come here and change one option, that is create active rigid body, to create deforming active object. That means this is animated, and after the animation is over, you can apply whatever forces are required to make it active rigid body. Okay, along with that, even while during animation, it will react with other active rigid body or static rigid bodies. Okay, so we will change this option to create deforming active objects. So it will keep its animation, it will hit the column, it will keep its animation till this point. Okay, like till this point, and then this will be converted to rigid body, and then it will be coming under the influence of gravitational force, and that will go down. See, and that then it will go down. Okay, and it is hitting the column. Okay, column is active rigid body. Column is active rigid body. So create active rigid body, and we have no need to change this option. So play and get this one. But I really don't want this column to go down just like this. But I have to create some option because I want to shatter the column. That means I have to change the column into different pieces, and this should be hit by the object and shatter out. So what I will do, I will go to GeoNode, and then in the column, and then in the column, and then in column, now we have to create some pieces of the column. So here we will take some options, and we have nothing to do with these two things. Okay, so they are out of question. And now here I want to change the column into some pieces. Okay, and for that I'll be giving you some options. So the first option I'm using is add. So I will come here. I want to use the minimum number of points. So to change that into different pieces, I am using one new node, and that is called Voronoi fracture. This is the node we have to use. Okay, so what this will do, this will change this column into different pieces. Okay, and those pieces will be based on the number of points we take for that. Okay, so we can take maybe a few number of points, and then we can take maybe 1,000 points or more than that. So this has two nodes. One node, one sorry, these has two inputs. So one first input will be used for the geometry. So we will connect first input to the geometry. Okay, and then we have to use this second input to for the points we want to create for that. So the least number of points I can take from add node. So I will take add, and then I will take 1 point here only. Okay, so I will take click here, and then 1 point will be generated at, I will click here in the display and I'll see that. So for that, what I will do, I will just switch it off for now, and then I will go and switch on the display flag of the column and then get into it, and then I'll see the node, this add node, and so we can see 1 point here. So I will press D, and then I will change the size of this point. So now we can see that. So this point is there, and I want to change the height of the point to be 3. So that will be in the middle of that. So now we have point at 3, and I want to create a small cloud around it, and for that I will be using a new node which is called point replicate. Okay, so what it does, it takes the point and create a cloud around it of whatever number of points we have. So here we have maybe 100 points, and we can reduce this value, and some other things are also there. I don't want to use them. I just want to use this to create some more points around it. So when I click on the display flag, we can see the cloud around it, and this will be in the shape of the box. Here we go and we see that thing. So we can change it to a sphere. Okay, so these number of points are there. Okay, we can reduce the number of points and we'll make it maybe 50 only, and we can increase the size also, and so many things are there, but for now I'll be using this only. So I will use the second input for these points. Okay, so as soon as I do it and click on this one, then these number of chunks are there, and then we'll click in the out column, and then we can see. So for now, what I will do, I will disable the assemble, because this is creating into packed primitive, and then we are not able to see things in a proper manner. So I will disable it for now, and then I will come to Voronoi and click here, okay, to see the visual part. So click here, and then we can see visually we have some pieces of the column. So now if I switch this on, and then I click here in the top, then it will call the geometry again. We'll call the geometry again. Okay. Now what's happening? Okay, I'll go to this one, and then maybe we can call the column again. We can go out and click here in the reset simulation, and sometimes it happens. You see, this is simulation, this is dynamics, and a lot of things happen around it. Okay, so okay, now play, and then it's happening. Okay, but so that is the point we are using. That is the point we are using. I also want to give some color to these things, and so I will do that before assemble. So I will take color and add it, and I will change the option color type to random. Okay, and from point I will change it to primitives. Good. So now we can see that. So some visual look is coming. Okay, so these are the chunks we have created with the help of this add. What we can do, we can take more add, we can take more points. We can take maybe I want 1 point here, then we can take, maybe I can press alt and then take a duplicate of it and then take a merge. Okay, apply here and then connect here and then go here and then keep it to 6, and then some more points are created here. If I click here, then I can see the point here, and then I'll give this some maybe some value here, maybe 0.3 or something, and that will be 0.3 or something, and then that will be like this. So maybe we have created more points here, more pieces here, and maybe I have taken only 1 point replicate. Maybe I can take some more value, or I can increase some values here to maybe 100. So that will be entirely based on the choices we do, but for now this is there. So we can take as number of points as we require. Okay, there is no need to take even two nodes. Okay, even in one node you can take many points and give them different positions. Okay, so if you want to take another one here, you can come here and then you can take another one and then give this a different value. Okay, so for now maybe we can take this part and we can change things according to our need. So that is one of the ways. Okay, so now maybe I'll take it out and then keep it somewhere else, and then I will show you some other option. Okay, for this one. Okay, so suppose if I want to create some boxes, then I have one more option for that, and that is point from volume. So I will take that node, point from volume. That is another node, and what this will do, it will create a grid based on the object you take. Okay, so it will create points. What I will do, I will take the same object here and then give this value, I mean add this input to the Voronoi, and then you can see. So if I come here, then these number, this will create the box in 2 points. Okay, in 2 points, and that is again a beautiful grid. Okay, so I can maybe increase or decrease the size of the points. So what I can do for that, I'll be using point separation. So I will keep this point separation to 0.5, and then I will decrease number of points here. So only just one column of some points, and when I see the things it has created is this. Okay, so I can go here and then we have a beautiful column, and now when I play it, I'll be able to see. Sorry. So I will come to this top netter and then go back and then I'll reset and then play. Check it out. So that is a second option. It's a good option, can be used sometimes. Not only this, we can do a lot of changes here. So I'll come here in the column and then I will go to maybe points from volume and then keep this value to 0.2. Okay, and then play. Okay, so you can use this also. So that is another option here. So we can also use some more options here. We can go to maybe along with that, we can go to along with point separation, we can change the grid offset also. So I will keep it to maybe 0.5, okay, 0.3 maybe, and then what I will do, I can go to this one, grid offset. Okay, so I can maybe offset things here and can change according to our need. One more thing I can take here, yeah, one more thing we can do, we can go to point configuration and we can change grid method to tetrahedral method, and then here we will be getting a different kind of pattern, a different kind of pattern. Okay, so these options are available here in this one. There are so many ways of doing things. Okay, you can take one object and change that into points, and then things can be done in that manner. So for that, what we can do, we can maybe I will take this out again, and then I will take one object. Maybe I will take a tube. I will take a tube, and then maybe and then change it to polygon and take this up here, and then take one add, change some values in the height, maybe rows to 5, and then I just want points because only points can be added here, not the mesh. So I will take one add, and then in add you will see some delete geometry but keep the points. I will click here, and then only the points will be there. Okay, I will reduce the size, but I will now connect it to the input of the Voronoi, and then you can see different kind of things we have achieved here. Play, check it out. Okay, so these options are also there, and you can change in the ways maybe you want. You can maybe rotate this value to maybe 45 degrees, and then the shape of the points, the shape of the chunks will be different type. So that is one more option. Okay, so I will take this out, and then I want to go to some other option, the option which is used the most while creating these chunks. So now I will come to scatter node. This is the most usable node while creating these kind of chunks, okay, for destruction. So I will add this scatter to the input of Voronoi, and then sorry, yeah, we'll have to take the same geometry. Okay, in the same manner we have done this. So that is scatter point is there, and it has not taken this value. So I will go out and click here and then reset transform. Okay, so I will go to the column and then scatter. In scatter there are so many options. Also we'll come to this one at some point. So we'll keep it maybe number of points to 100. Number of points to 100, and now we have got the Voronoi kind of pattern here. Okay, so we can take maybe some so many ways are there. We'll be seeing some more options in the upcoming videos, maybe some complex options also, some complex ways of working also. One thing which is happening from the very beginning, Okay, even before this cube is hitting the column is going down. You just play it and you will be able to see. Okay, so that is happening, and for that what we can do, we I want these chunks to, to stay together, and till the point some body, some rigid body is hitting it. So for that what I can do, so what I will do, I will maybe go to column and then change things from here. So what I will do, I will come to this Voronoi fracture and then I can change things from here. So I will go to, maybe I will delete these things. I don't require them. Okay, I don't require them. So I will come to this one and then I will take a few nodes here. So first thing, uh, adjacent connect adjacent pieces. I will take this node. Okay, this will create connect adjacent pieces together, and I will take the name assemble and then click here, and then that warning is gone. So I'll be, from the assemble I will change these things. Okay, so what it is doing, for every piece it is creating a name, this assemble node. Okay, it is creating a name for everything, and the name of the chunk is piece. So if I want to see it, I will come here in the geometry spreadsheet, and I can see the name of the chunks here, piece 0, piece 1, and so on. So this is creating the name attribute for that. So now I will come along here and then I will create the constraints for that. Okay, so for creating the attributes, I will come here and take a create attribute, and then connect it to the output, and then attribute create. I'll go and create two attributes here. One is constraint underscore name. That is the first one, and here I will take in the class, I will take primitive, and then the float I will take string, because I have to put the name here. Okay, so the name of the constraint will be glue. Why? Because I want, all the pieces glued together. Okay, so one constraint is there and its name is glue constraint, so I will name it glue, and then I will create one more constraint here. Click here to get the other input. So I will come here and then constraint underscore type. That is another one, and then I'll come to type class, and then that will be primitive, and then float, and that will be string. Okay, so I will come here in the string and I will name it uh, that will be all, because not particular one, but all the types. Okay, so these two values we have to take. We will come, and then maybe in the next video we will come and discuss more about them, but for now uh, this one, and then I will go and take a null, okay, and here I will name it out constraint okay. So these two things are there. So now I'll go to top, and then I'll have to add some more options here. So I'll make some space for that, and I will take constraint network. We will take constraint network and then add it here. And now it is looking for another input here from this one. So I will go and take glue constraint relationship. Okay, and then connect this one to the second input of constraint network. and then I'll come here in the constraint network, and then I will call the constraint I created there. Okay, so I'll go in the box and then in the column, sorry, and then I will take out constraint. Okay, so as soon as you do it, now these all the pieces are glued with the glue constraint, which is this one, and the strength is 10,000 here. So when I play this, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Why nothing is happening? Because we have to change the name of the of the data name which I gave there. So if I go back and I'll see the name I gave, so that will be okay. That will be glue, GLUE, and that's all small. So I will go to top again and then change the name to glue, and that is all small. Okay, and now I play it. And I'll play it and see, the same kind of thing is happening. So I'll go back and maybe I can try a reset and see it again. This thing is not happening, something is wrong. So I will go back and see in the column and then go in the connected faces, and here, because less number of connections are there, so I will come here and see the things here. I'll go back and then switch this off, click on this one, and then come here, and then I do not see anything here. So I will increase the number of connections. I'll increase the number of connections here, and I do not see. So I will increase the search radius, and now we can see something happening. So I will keep it to 8. Okay, and now this is constraint network is created, and then we will go back and see things there. So I'll click and switch it off and then play it again. Okay, so I will increase the strength now. Sorry, constraint, not constraint. Constraint name. Okay, it was misspelled. Sorry. Yeah, constraint. Okay, so now play. Yeah, and now see. Now it's working fine. So what I will do, I will go back in the DOP and I will reduce the strength to 100. Yeah. So okay, I'll have to make it 1000. Okay, so now what is happening? Now what is happening? We have to keep this part intact. Okay, and then there it should hit this one. Okay, why this is going before that? I don't understand it. Why it is happening? Why it is happening? Okay, why it is happening? One more thing I will do here. I will come here in the, this could be because of the name. So here I will come in the box and then go down, and then this piece is here. So if I go to geometry spreadsheet, and piece 0 is here. Okay, and on this one initial velocity is being applied. So now I'll go to this one. yeah, in the column. And when I go to this assemble, I then come here, then page 0 is also here. So what I will do, I will go and change the name of that in the box. Okay, so I will go to assemble and change the name to box. Okay, or anything, but it must be different. I think this could be a reason. Just play it again and then let's see. Okay, yep. Okay, and play and bingo. Fine. So now this thing is, I think, working fine. Yeah, this is fine. And I think maybe I want to give some more options here, but I think this video has really gone very long. So maybe in the next video I'll be coming up with some other options, some more options. So for this video, I think that is enough from my side. So thank you very much. I hope you liked it.